Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present to you today while Ron DeSantis's Parental Rights in Teaching bill was so needed. I'm going to give you two powerful videos. Let's take a look, shall we?
Yeah, I told her that. She called me and told me that she had an issue up here about my grandson being in a dress. I'm trying to see what the issue is about that.
Okay, you'll have to talk to Dara.
Who's
the
Dara?
director. She's down in the other class.
Is she the one that was in charge of the kids while my
I
grandson?
was, but I can't talk to you
Why?
because you're not on the forms. We'll have to get Dara up here and she will let you. Talk to you about it.
First of all, I'm coming down here because we don't do that. The transgender and all that. We don't do that.
I understand. I need
And I don't appreciate you encouraging him to put on no dress for the second day too. I don't appreciate that. And don't think this is going away. I'm going further with this.
Okay, you can go down and talk.
No, I'm not done talking to you. I'm letting you know the next time that you put any kid in a dress, we're gonna make you go viral.
Okay, you need to go talk to my director because I, as a teacher.
No, I'm letting you know I got an issue with you about that. I'm not playing with you.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you feel that way. But you should have called me before you made the decision to put my grandson in a dress.
Okay, did you speak to the
No, I'm speaking to you.
Please do not talk to me in that tone with my children
I
around.
wouldn't be up here if you wouldn't put my grandson in no dress. Well, do what you gotta do. No, I'm taking it up with you.
Please lower your voice. You're in a class.
I'm taking it up with you. Well, you shouldn't have put my grandson in no dress.
These two.
This ain't over with, all right?
Now you see there what happened. And there's a couple of things that were said in that video that should really be alarming. Ron DeSantis was right to introduce that bill. He couldn't have been more right. Now, for me, they should have respected the parents, or in this case, the grandfather's wish, right? He doesn't want his son to be in or grandson to be in a dress. Don't put him in a dress. It's that simple. So why can't they follow that? Why is it they must push their transgender issues? And let's not only get it transgender. If it was his granddaughter and she showed up in pants and the teacher said, that's not feminine enough, go put on a dress, you as a teacher don't have the right to do it. Something else was said. She said, don't speak to me in that tone in front of my kids. They're not, unless you have two kids in that classroom, those are not your kids. See, this whole my kid thing has gone too far where they think they have more rights to the child than the parents do. Something else she said in there, he's two. Why are you pushing sexuality ideas on a 2-year-old? On a 2-year-old. That's why I'm saying I don't think Ron DeSantis' Parental Rights and Education bill went far enough. It should have covered the entirety of school. Let me show you what else they're doing. Let's take a look, shall we?
What I will share over and over again is how proud I was of my students.
An emotional Rockland Academy teacher addressing a packed house of parents, many furious about her decision to discuss the topic of gender identity inside her kindergarten class.
It was never my intent to harm any students, only to support them through a difficult situation.
The teacher defended her actions to read 2 books she says were given to her by a transgender child going through a transition.
The kindergartners came home very confused about whether or not you can pick your gender, whether or not they really were a boy or a girl.
Parents say besides the books, the transgender student at some point during class also changed clothes and was revealed as her true gender. And many parents say they feel betrayed and blindsided.
I want her to hear from me as a parent what her gender identity means to her and to our family. Not from a book that may be controversial. My daughter went home crying, shaking, so afraid that she could turn into a boy.
The issue was not on the agenda, so parents spoke out during Monday night's public comment.
It's really about the parents being informed and involved and,
giving us the choice and the rights about, you know, what's getting introduced to our kids and at what age.
Many teachers also speaking out in support of what transpired inside the classroom on the last days of the academic year.
Head in the direction of banned books or book lists or selected literature that should only be read inside or outside of the classroom. I think that that's a very dangerous direction to go.
See this little trick they play? Oh, the right is trying to ban books and about. No, parents don't want this shit being taught to their kindergartners. And now thankfully in Florida, you can't legally do it. And if you do it, you're going to get in big trouble. So when the left comes out and says, not even the woke come out and say, the far left comes out and says, this isn't being taught in classrooms and it's a don't say gay bill. So why is it when these people want to push sexuality on a kid, a kindergartner, why is it they go to book banning? They're trying to ban books. Yes, you should ban some things that are put in front of your kids. Yes, the parents should have say. Yes, you as an instructor, an employee of the parents who pay your salary, I might add, should have some say in what goes on. Now, if I took an old copy of Hustler and left it in the kindergarten library, would that be okay? I don't have any old copies of Hustler, but if I did, would that be okay? Let these parents do that. This is kindergarten. They don't even know how to write yet. And you want to teach them something as complicated as gender identity in kindergarten. See, they're trying to start them young on this crap. When I would say no kindergarten teacher, gay, straight, trans, whatever, should be talking to kindergartners about sex, anything. They can't write yet, they can't read yet. Well, some of them can because they got taught at home. You know, I saw Kennedy say something on Outnumbered the other day where she goes, close down all the public schools. I was like, you can't do that. What about the disenfranchised kids? I completely disagree with what she had to say. But now I'm like, if this stuff is so spread, they're not teaching our kids anyway, which is why China, Japan, the Philippines, all these countries kick our asses when it comes to school. Canada, Mexico, I think we're ranked behind Mexico as far as at reading levels because they're not teaching the kids anything but transgender ideas. I don't care if it was straight ideas. I send little Johnny to kindergarten to learn how to read and write. Not to hear lectures about what being a man is or what sexuality is. That's not what I want him to learn. So I present to you proof. They can no longer say this is not happening on a concerted level, supported by school boards, school districts, district employees. When any person in their right mind, like I said, gay, straight, trans, it doesn't matter, should have second thoughts about talking to a kindergartner about sex. If you're at the playground with your 5, 6-year-old, and I just walk up out of the blue, even if you know me, and I start talking to your kids about sex, sexuality, stuff like that, well, I would hope you would either punch me in the face or shoot me, stab me, something. You've seen it, you've seen it. We see it all the time, all the time. There was one video, I didn't put it in here because this one's starting to run a little long. This one parent brings a book that his kindergartner got out of the kindergarten library, starts reading it in front of the school board. They immediately silence him, saying there's kids in the room. He goes, I know, this book came from your library. Why is this here? And then of course, oh no, I didn't know that. And they just try to blow it off. Now parents are seeing what's going on with their kids. That's going to be another big part of the reason you're going to see a great wave coming here soon. But I don't want to go on too long. Like, subscribe, share. And as always, especially in these days and times, keep your powder dry and do what you got to do.